All right.
My name is Phil Liu. I'm the program chair at PNSQC this year, and I'm at Star East. I happened to run into Jennifer Bonine here in Orlando, Florida, and I got a chance to talk to Jennifer about some of the things that she found out at the conference and so forth. And so, Jennifer, thanks for taking out time to meet with me.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's so fun to see you. I see you all around, and it's always fun to see you in different native environments. Now you're in Orlando, and I get to see you, and so it's been fun.
Yeah. So what do you think about, I know that you were doing interviews for Star East today, and I saw you, and so you get to talk to a lot of people. So what do you think are the trends in the industry as far as software quality and software testing?
Yeah, super interesting to me this year, more than other years in the past. So one thing I saw, which was very unique, first time I've seen it in years, Agile was not really discussed or brought up by anyone, right?
Okay.
So they're not talking about, how does it impact me? What do I do with it? What is it? So interesting, right? That none of the speakers I talked to, none of the keynotes, none of the discussions I was even engaged in with people was around Agile. That wasn't a thing for them right now.
Okay.
So primarily, I heard a lot on the varying perspectives of automation. What level do you take it to? Do you do CI/CD? Do you do DevOps? What does that look like? Do you automate security? Do you automate performance? So for the first time, I'm hearing more around not only DevOps in terms of your operations side and your build and release, but what I was hearing was the term shift left and right. So shifting performance and performance testing in your DevOps cycle to the left. So you're having developers run some basic performance tests during their unit testing. Right. So embedding performance in there. Other thing to shift left, security.
Right.
So embed security scans also by developers early on in the cycle. So those were two new things. We'd talk about security, we'd talk about DevOps, we'd talk about this stuff, we'd talk about performance, but now talking about it in terms of...
So you're shifting left.
Yes.
And I'm shifting right.
Exactly.
Okay, so what
exactly. I know,
what kinds
confusing.
of things shift right, though? That's curious.
So here's what they said about shift right. So when you all bang into each other and you're like, we're all moving. So they said shift it left in terms of letting developers do their pieces, but there's some components that you're not able to do till you have everything. Right?
Yeah.
So do the things you can early on. And then the things that you're waiting for it. So don't just shift left and go, it's done, check the box.
Right.
Like with performance, we're still going to do more, right? We're still going to do more with security. We're going to monitor security in production. We're going to take some of these scripts that we ran initially in the dev environments and the lower environments, we're going to run them in production. Right. So those are shifting right as well. So I think the concept of people not saying, oh, I shifted it left, now it's done.
Okay.
But I shifted left and now I need to make sure it's right and it's in production.
Okay. Wow.
So that's what, right?
That's interesting. Yeah.
It was new to me to hear the concept of shift left. You hear shift left all the time.
Yeah.
Now people thought it was cute to say shift left, then also shift right. So that's what I saw. The other one that was big here that has been talked about for years but became really huge to me was the concept of AI. So if you looked at the keynotes here, you had two that revolved around the themes of artificial intelligence.
Right.
And how does that play into what we're going to do and how we're going to do it from a testing standpoint. So that was bigger. There also was a lot more content in sessions on what does AI do to testing.
Right.
Now, two key themes that I took away from all of this around AI is all of us to, number one, get educated. So understand what it is.
Right.
So first, let's all go understand what it is, because a lot of times what happens is we're afraid, not with knowledge, but afraid because of lack of knowledge. And what that does to us as a profession.
Sure.
So go get educated and understand what it is, number one. Number two, with AI, what I learned was the concept of trust but verify, like we've all known. Right? So trust your AI, but also how do you test it? Like, how do you validate that the AI is correct?
That's a good point.
In and of itself. So I think that's a concept that we're exploring now is around AI is get some information, understand what it is and what it isn't, and then trust but verify whenever you're seeing it, right? Don't just assume, because there's going to be a whole group of people in industry that spins up around how you actually trust and verify the AI that was created.
Right. That's a whole nother thing to think about. And
Right. And then now add on another layer. So the
Right.
next layer coming that wasn't as big here,
Right.
because I wouldn't call it necessarily a trend, I call it an emerging theory and trend,
Okay.
is VR and AR. So virtual reality, augmented reality.
Mm-hmm.
So there was only, we'll check how many sessions start popping up, like at PNSQC and other places, around virtual reality and augmented reality. So now taking AI and adding another piece
Yeah.
onto it.
Yeah, that's kind of I guess you could say, an application of AI. Right?
Exactly.
And how we use that.
And adding that on top and
Yeah.
layering that in. So what was interesting about VR is that there is a company that is, their primary function was creating mobile apps and websites. Now what they're seeing is they were pinged by Google to help them create an AI mobile app, right? Then they were pinged by Home Depot. So imagine, so here's where this makes sense to me. Take the application of retailers. Retailers have been struggling lately. We're closing retail places like crazy as a trend.
Sure.
No one wants to go to the store and buy stuff. They want to just have it come to them. Imagine now you want to create a new kitchen. You're remodeling.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going to Home Depot to go look at cabinets and stuff,
Yeah.
you have an AI app that you plug in all the data for your home, your actual home.
Right.
You then tell it what you want. You can look and pick out cabinets, countertops, flooring, everything. You now drop that into your physical, actual kitchen in your home, and you can live in it and walk around in it. Right? So now you're seeing, right? Isn't this cool, right? Because now you're seeing.
But then you have to wear those funny goggles walking around your house.
Right, but only for like an hour or two, right? But you go, okay, do I like this? Is the countertop the right height for me, or should we modify?
I wish I had had that when I was remodeling my house.
Right. See?
Yeah.
This is going to revolutionize, I think, how we shop and buy.
Right.
Now, instead of taking your tape measure out and measuring that space for your sofa, you literally just VR drop that thing in, or augmented reality, and it's sitting in your living room, and you know what it looks like, and about how much, well, you know exactly how much space you have.
Right. But that's going to have big implications on the QA and testing of that.
Exactly. So here's another theory that was kind of cool. The guy that I talked to, that this was his area, because he's been exploring in it a little bit, he said, you know, you hear all the talk of automation. You'd hear automation's taking over testing. Everything will be automated. We won't need manual testers. We won't need people who that's their tool they primarily use. If you're Michael Bolton, who says these are all tools, they're not things. However you like to say it, right? But when you look at it, what this individual said is, if you always like using that tool or being someone who does testing manually, stay at the far right curve of technology. So stay at the cutting edge, because in order to use the tool of automation, you have to understand manually how something goes together and fits. So in order to test VR and AR, you need to manually figure it out and test it before we'll ever be able to automate it. Same with AI, right? So you're having to figure these pieces out manually if that's a tool that you like to use. So stay far right. And I thought, again, that's an interesting concept, right? Of where to play to your strengths, and what does that mean? Is it right or wrong? I don't know, but it's a trend that I was pondering.
Really cool. So, what did you think about the Expo on the show? And did you see any cool vendors, or anything new? Or?
Yes. So along the lines of more and more people, like for the last couple of years, DevOps has been the big thing at a lot of conferences. And what is DevOps?
What is DevOps?
And now what I'm seeing is people are getting that. That's why like Agile's like way back here, like, and it's not even that long ago, right? But it's kind of like this old hat thing that people are like, we don't talk about that anymore. It's just like what it is. We know. DevOps, we're still talking about, but now we're injecting terms like DevSecOps, or, you know, ingesting other pieces into it. And then now we've got this AI thing, and just like more sessions on artificial intelligence and machine learning, you've got vendors who really play in that space of how to make better decisions, how to do more predictive analysis, how to hire people better, how to get the right talent. One of the revolutionary things, I think, is testexchange.io, right? So how many people out there comb through hundreds of resumes to get one person? And after you get that one, you don't know really if they're going to fit or be right. So having a tool that does a lot of that for you, using predictive analysis, data, combing through all of it, and then helping you make better hiring decisions about which people will fit in your organization.
Right.
It's one of the neatest tools I've actually ever seen on the
Yeah, I
market
think.
right now.
I mean, no matter what tools you use, whether it be it automation, AI, or whatever, you still have to have people to use them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think
Right.
though it's going to start to catch on
Sure.
because I mean, and then you've got, so testexchange.io for that piece was a great vendor. You're seeing more vendors in the space, but you also had test.ai, which is more around artificial intelligence, bot learning, letting
Right.
the bots crawl your site,
Sure.
build your testing,
Uh-huh.
automate all of that. More and more vendors you're seeing in tooling, people are moving towards that next layer of some level of AI
Right.
in those tools.
Okay.
And those are the ones people are talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're going to be giving a keynote at PNSQC
Yes.
and also giving a workshop. And tell us a little bit about your keynote. And what really perked my interest was, about communication and how we've kind of lost the, I guess you could call it a skill or an art of communication, because we're always going like this. You walk down the road and everybody's going like this. And
Yeah.
so what are you going to be talking about in your keynote? A little bit. You don't have
Yeah.
to give us all of it.
No,
but
a
just
little
bit.
snippet.
Yeah.
So, social factors and understanding the influence of social dynamics, which includes things like influencing, communication skills,
Mm-hmm.
the ability to talk to other people, right? The ability to tell them, "Here, I have this great idea," and get
Right.
them to buy in.
Mm-hmm.
That influencing,
Mm-hmm.
problem solving,
Sure.
right? So, if I can't Google it, what do I do? And a lot of us go, then we stop because I don't know the answer, right? But
Right.
that's a key skill.
Okay.
So these influencers in our lives around social dynamics is what I think is going to set apart people who figure that piece out with their technical aptitude are the winning combination, right? Like I have yet to find a person who is able to carry on a conversation and is smart and solid technically that can't find a job in technology. Because that's a hard combination
We
to
have to have,
find.
yeah, right. It's a big combination, yeah.
Right? And that's the magic thing, right? Is
Right.
social skills with that intelligence and that technology smarts. And a lot of people have, are stronger one or the other, but it's about identifying where a potential weakness is and strategies to help you get outside of that box. I know some technical people that because they know speaking in front of a group is hard, they've joined Toastmasters.
Right.
That's outside their comfort zone.
Sure.
But it's a way to feel safe to learn how to do it versus others who would go, well, I'm just going to get up and do it, right? Because
Sure.
that's their natural
Sure.
comfort.
Sure.
It provides a safer way for technology people to work and practice those skills.
So I know you're doing also a workshop
Yes.
on mind mapping. So are you gonna go like this and figure
Yeah,
out what
that's
I'm
exactly
thinking?
how it
Is
works.
that what
Yeah, it's like mind melding.
Okay.
No, it's really cool though, but mind maps actually look like a map of your brain. So
Okay.
the synapses and the way that it fires
Uh-huh.
and you retrieve information from different parts of your brain is actually what Tony Bazan, who is the father of mind maps, did.
Okay. Uh-huh.
That was his research and study. He
Wow.
said the way your brain processes information is, you basically pull things from different places. It sends that signal across and associates it to something else somewhere else in the brain. So that association. What you're doing with a mind map, and this is what's so fun about these, you can literally go back into your office or your projects the next day and start using them. Like you could use them that same day, frankly,
Right.
with very little training. They're all open source tools, and it's a visualization because a lot of technology professionals don't want to read big, long, documents. They
Who
get
does?
bored.
Yeah.
We
sure.
have short attention spans.
Right.
So we process pictures 30,000 times faster than words.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, that's how our minds work. So now if I give you a picture of how a project's working and potential gaps as opposed to a whole dissertation on it, you're going to process it that much faster.
Wow. Okay.
Why not use them?
So that has huge implications on getting stuff done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Efficiency, velocity,
Right.
speed,
Right.
not having those communication gaps, all those things.
Wow.
Why wouldn't
Okay.
you do it?
Wow.
So it's one of those things where I'm like, this is silly. We should all be doing this. Technically, every student out there or every person who's in a college program or a graduate program, they say that if you study using mind mapping instead of traditional note taking, retention almost 3 times better.
Jeez. I wish I'd known that.
Right? That's what I said. When I found this, I'm like, what did my parents tell me? No, I'm like, I'm telling everyone. I'm going to tell everyone I find and tell all of your people.
Right. Okay, great. Well, thanks very much for your time, Jennifer.
This is great.
And I look forward to seeing you in October.
I'm so excited. See you all in October.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Awesome. That's perfect.